Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, Jon and Nez hanging out, Black and Yellow Dog app, platform of the people, and a loaded Friday here. So we're just going to debate Adam Scott, the golfer, versus Adam Scott, the actor, for the next 2 hours here, Nez, and then we're going to go home. How we doing, bro?
Good. Doing well. Yeah, fun debate. That ended up not being a debate. That was just very clearly not the golfer, and very much you and Davis being like two peas in a pod there, which actually makes a lot of sense if you spent any amount of time with you two. So yeah, that was you guys got us good. That was
good clean fun. Good clean fun. Yeah, no time for that today, Nez. We got PGA sweats going on. We got a loaded MLB slate that features Coors and Sutter Health with booming conditions right now. We got 2 Game 6s in the NBA where series could wrap up this evening. One in the West, one in the East there. Monster 10K to first 100K total prize pool in that one. And then it's Frenchie Friday, bro. Frenchie Friday is upon us.
Double Frenchie Friday.
Yeah, guys, hit up in the chat. I mean, nobody listens to me anyways, because you're about to find out in like 30 seconds why nobody actually listens to me. But in the chat right now, there is a vote, and you can vote if we're going to draft the Superflex or the normal one. So please vote, because in about an hour and 15 minutes time, when we get through NBA and we get through baseball, we're going to draft that contest of your choosing. So please vote for it in the chat there. And tell us which one we are going to be drafting. Nez, the reason in which I joke that nobody listens to me is on Wednesday, everybody was clamoring about UD merch, and then they were saying, oh, we didn't get merch and stuff like that. So I said, you know what, Nez? I'm going to put 50 of my very own hard-earned dollars in somebody else's pocket to get whatever they want from the Pete Overzed merch store, which includes some fantastic items, such as the shirt in which you are wearing right there, such as the Scroll the F Down hats, the badge, mugs, everything you want under the sun right here. And you know how many people signed up for the giveaway?
0.
Yo, hey, turn that 0 to the 3. We got 3. We did get 3 people. But this is insane, man. I'm out here giving away trips to fucking LA for the people. I'm out here giving away $50 for no reason. If Davis had a $50 giveaway, he'd have 7,000 live viewers right now. They don't want it from us like that, Nez.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that his viewers believe he has $50 to his name. So that would also be part of it, but no, that was just an unnecessary shot. I love it.
But, I know for a fact he has $250 to his name right now, because Best Ball Guy dropped off $250 at his door this morning for his stream.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
Unbelievable stuff.
That is okay. Okay, man.
Nez, let's rip through a couple things here. First and foremost, this giveaway, the winner of this is it's either Luke, it's either Charles, or it's either Joseph. And they're all members of the channel, and they followed the instructions by you didn't even have to get anything right. You just had to drop a golfer's name in the comment section that you thought could win the PGA. So you know what? Here we go. We're going to spin this bad boy. We're going to see who the champ is.
Oh, man.
Very little sweat. Shout out to Luke. Luke, if you're in the chat or you're watching this later, message me on Discord, message me on X, put it in the YouTube comments below. I will send you a gift card to the Peter Overzed gift shop there. You can use it on Pete's stuff. You can use it on our stuff. No hard feelings if you don't want a badged up shirt. But shout out to Luke, man. Thanks for following the instructions and caring about the program.
Love that. Thank you, Luke Bog. Thank you for taking John's money. Sorry, Charles. Played good, ran bad. Don't know what to tell you.
Evergreen. Shout out to Troy, who comes through, drops off a Badge Bros membership, thought he was subbed already, and then gave it to himself. Unbelievable.
Wow. Played good, ran good.
Played good, ran good. Indeed. That's a couple of things I want to hit on right off the top here. the Underdog Drafts account tweeting out some stuff that you and I were talking about, and we were kind of talking about it, a little more hush hush, and now they're sharing some of this forward. There's a lot more cool things to come here, but I'll drop the tweet in the chat there for everyone. But just, man, they've really been on it. I know it was awful that, we went through the letting people go and then pivoting to predictions and all this sort of stuff, and the sportsbook team was gone and all this sort of deal. But the drafts team has really come together and worked in tandem with the engineers here, and shit is getting done. We talked about the stuff yesterday with the exposures. We talked about the drop-down menus and breakdowns of scoring in the lineups in the app. They look so clean. Make sure you update your most recent iOS, and a lot of these bugs that we've been talking about for some time now are going away. So great stuff by the team.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is, like you said, more to come too, which is like really exciting. But love to see it. Love to see it. Shout out to UD for continuing to support these games, improve these games. Love it, man. It's a great sign. It really is a great sign.
Yeah, like all these micro improvements that have taken place over the last month. It's just so good for the hardos like us. Okay, before we go into the actual slate itself, I did have to pose this question, Nez, and you can remove Davis's name from this if you would like, just because I
would like to.
It's a little bit of a punching bag kind of thing, Davis. We love Davis. He drives engagement. He's awesome, dude. I love Davis. But if you want to insert your own name into this, I just want this question, okay? If I gave you $1 million for making the best ball finals this year, would you quit playing everything otherwise if it did not happen for you? And effectively, that's like a 1 in 7 chance at $1 million. And where else are you going to get a 1 in 7 chance at $1 million?
I'm just laughing at your vote here. I would absolutely take this deal.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, no, like without a second thought, I'm taking that deal.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like avenues in life from a gambling respect that you'll get an opportunity that is as good as 1 in 7 at $1 million.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I've definitely had some in my life and fallen short in isolated moments at final tables, at, big live games, flipping of cards that could have gone the other way that, would have been like drastically changing. But like, I still don't think I would do it.
I just like
1 in 7.
I know for a fact.
And the binary outcome is, yeah. Yeah, 1 in 7 shot at $1 million. Like, you don't really get that anywhere else. I don't know. I thought it was a very good philosophical question here.
I think it's just there's too much bit. It's to me, the reason why this like frankly pissed me off is because it just seemed like a Davis joke.
Right. Sure. Yeah. That's what drives the engagement of it. Is it feels like a Davis joke. That's why I was like, if you omit Davis's name, because I don't want to punch on Davis. I love Davis. So, yeah. If you just put anyone else's name, put my name in there. Would you take it?
No. Yeah. I mean,
great answer.
Yeah, I would. I feel like the odds. I feel like anybody. Yeah, I don't know. Unless this is. Yeah, I think 66% of people should be clicking yes.
Yeah, maybe I tend to agree. I think I might be the outlier in this scenario in terms of like, because it encapsulates the poker thing, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I technically should be saying no, but like, hey, I'm this is the biggest gamble ever here,
Right. And I mean, you'll be fine, dude. You do something else in this world and you'd be very talented at it and you'd be totally fine. It just so happens that we found this niche, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Who knows? You might even be better at it, Maybe this whole time you should have been a physiotherapist.
Maybe.
You'd have Malik Neighbor's knee fixed in no time.
Yeah, there'd be no scar tissue if he was working with me.
Good shit. Lots of GFGMs in the chat. What's good? What's up, Danny? Miles is saying, only would miss his home league. I guess that's fair. Like, you would just never draft a best ball team again kind of vibe. I just love drafting best ball. I'm not sure I love it more than, a million cold hard bucks in your account, but I do love drafting best ball. But everyone's happy for the Iceman release. Did you listen to the Iceman last night, Nez?
I did. I did.
And thoughts?
It's good. It's good. People still have residual hatred toward Drake from the Kendrick beef, and I think these people need to grow up. But no, it's good. I enjoy it. I like if you don't like that type of music, that's one thing. But to be getting in on the jokes still and shit with Drake, it's all right, man. 2024 was a while ago. Let's move on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I can't look at Drake and not just hear like A minor in my head. Like I can't.
It was a great track.
I'm a good Canadian kid. I'd love to support. I was never really a huge Drake guy. I've seen him before. I didn't love him like that. I was always more of like the stuff that I liked with Drake back in the day was like the crossover stuff with Future, to be honest, like the way back, like the Jumpman and like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Little ball of knowledge there. Yeah, no, I could go into a whole dissertation about that whole thing, but Kendrick, I think, is actually the shadiest one in that whole thing.
Ooh, okay. All right. That's true ball knowledge there. So you're deep in the weeds, man. You know your rap industry there.
Yeah, Kendrick is sus as fuck.
Oh man. Wow. This is some deep dive. Thank you, Sam, for this one.
This made my day.
This makes my day too. Drake is to music as Numi's Clubhouse was to winning slates. Oh, I love that, man.
Mm-hmm.
This album's
a throwback. Yeah. Drake hopped on a track with him. So him and Future hopped on a track with Drake. So no bad blood there.
Awesome. Love that, man. I was a Future guy, man. Awful live. Amazing, hardo gym music or, bumping in the car with the boys music.
Yeah, Future's my goat.
Yeah. I'm just reading through the chat there. Family Matters was the best song of the battle.
Family Matters went hard. And then Not Like Us is like a fun little pop song. Mm-hmm. I could go like he used Drake and the beef to like make the catchiest song he's ever had. Like,
okay,
do it without Drake. Like you can't. Luther's good. Luther's a great song, but like he just like, yeah, I don't know. And I love, Good Kid, Mad City, and Kendrick has good shit, but like it's very straight. Like it's weird. It's weird energy, and that is his most popular song ever. And he had to like put down Drake to do it. It's
that's a good point.
Curious. Yeah,
curious indeed. That is a good point. I loved Good Kid, Mad City though. Like I still listen to Good Kid, Mad City. Like I could. That's
Banger.
Dude. You just put it on like start to finish. Like there's very few albums these days that are just like put it on, set it, forget it. Like people just drag and drop their favorite songs to playlists nowadays. Good Kid, Mad City is just like start to bottom. Let's go.
Yeah, there was a lot of anticipation for that. We were like, we were in our heydays, in our 20s, and that came out. That was just like peak, absolute peak.
Favorite song by either of them ever though? King Kuda.
That's an interesting answer. That's an interesting answer. Good, really good song, but that's an interesting answer. I like that. I like that idea. I like that you said that.
Okay, all right. See, a little bit of ball knowledge for your boy. Money trees always go hard. Too.
Yeah,
money
that's
trees,
just like
money trees is just chalk dog.
Yeah, chalk dog for sure. But it's great.
All right, dude. Filibustered at the top of the show. Enough when we have a million slates to get through here. I just wanted to share a couple things before we hop in because I know I'll save it for NFL. Actually, there's a couple tweets that I saw that I really wanted to share at the top of NFL. But as we talked about, dude, we got some game sixes tonight here. We got Pistons and Cavs. They're Pistons. They've blown a couple ones late there. I mean. Say what you will, whether it's, Cavs taking over late or Pistons blowing them late. I tend to lean in the camp of the Pistons not being able to close out these games here where they're up 9 with 3 minutes left, or the sequence in game 5 where Cade has 3 straight turnovers there. But yeah, man, Pistons might need to make some adjustments tonight. And the first big adjustment that we saw is if you're reading the unabated notes, man, Duren has no all-star in NBA history has had a points per game fall off like Duren has from the second half of this, or from the regular season to the postseason. He was like 19.5 in the regular season, and now he's hovering around 10 in the playoffs here since Wilt Chamberlain in 1962. That was a
great
sweet
company.
Yeah, it's good company. But that was a sweet nugget I stole from Kyle in the unabated Discord this morning here, because I was like, oh my God, like I know he's been bad, but like, holy shit. And then another one when we move to the next game that we'll talk about is Julius Randle has been atrocious on a per touch basis in the T-Wolves stuff. Stole a little something from Gallagher on the ETR site on that one. But like, man, just I don't really know what the adjustments are going to be here. Maybe it's more B-Ball Paul, like I've been talking about, and B-Ball Paul played the overtime last time out. But yeah, something's got to change here, and the Pistons got to go win a game on the road here, and the Cavs have yet to lose one on their home floor during the playoffs here. 2-10 in that one, 4 by way of the Cavs. And then the Spurs as 5.5-point favorites, road favorites here against the Minnesota T-Wolves, a 218.5 in that one. Could be heartbreak city for our guys Blake, Numi, all these guys, GA, all our Minnesota guys, if they lose the Wild and the T-Wolves inside of a couple days here.
Yeah. I as far as like the Duren thing goes, how they have to make an adjustment there, right? They have to. I just, it would be so DFS for Duren to have a great game tonight. It would
I know it would.
So fucking peak. But like, B-Ball Paul is going to be like 20% drafted tonight. Mm-hmm. And there's a chance we get that second half notification from Underdog NBA that says Paul Reed starting for Jalen Duren in the second half. Like, yep. I don't know. I really think that Paul Reed is a great click right now. And I had a lot of Jalen Duren to like start my day. I did like 20 autos just to see what's going on. Like, oh shit. Okay. Jalen Duren is falling a lot. I actually don't want to play this guy. I thought I had him at a cheap price where I would get a falling Jalen Duren. So I'm not going to click Jalen Duren. I'm just not.
Okay. Yeah, man, I respect it. I respect it. Here's the tweet from the Underdog NBA account earlier this morning where Duren and Beef Stew split those first and third quarter minutes. And then from the fourth quarter and OT on, granted, it was a game that they wound up losing. It was Paul Reed for all 17. So he played all of the fourth and then played overtime in game 5 there. So yeah, read into it what you will. They are clearly seeing problems with their front court that, Evan Mobley has had back-to-back monster games against them. Jared Allen has played really well, except for the one game that he was in foul trouble. So yeah, man, I'm in lockstep with you. We were ahead of the curve talking about Paul Reed two games ago, and he got it done in limited minutes off the bench in just the second half in game 4. So it's kind of like, man, if I can run back this thesis at discounted ownership in the last round when I know these guys are struggling and it's a closeout game, yeah, I mean, even if it's just cutting, Beef Stew out, even if Duren still runs those 25, if you get up to 23 minutes of Paul Reed in the last round, he could break this slate in the same manner in which, Duncan Robinson has done in this postseason and Keldon Johnson has done in the salary-based one on Monday there, where it's like, these last round guys, like they have some ceiling to them when they get full run. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, Paul Reed, really, really nice low-owned click. Like you don't even get him in the 6th round, as he should. But like, I love the play.
Yeah. Spurs came in. I guess let me hit a couple more things just on the Pistons side there before we get into like the ADPs and stuff. But Kevin Huerter has a Q tag, Levert has a Q tag, and Duncan Robinson has a Q tag. Duncan Robinson missed last game. He played limited in game 4, then missed game 5. And he played quite poorly in game 4, if we're being honest there. That was the game where Levert really took over and he had like an ADP of like 11, 12, 13 in that range, and then, had 5 fantasy points or something like that. And then he misses with the back spasms, the low back soreness as they're classifying it. But he went through shoot around today. He's free in the last round with a Q tag there. So is Levert. So is Herder. Herder played 3 minutes last time out in the first half, and then he wasn't even on the bench for the fourth quarter and stuff like that. So I don't really know what to read into Herder. I don't think his minutes really matter anyways, because they didn't play him in the regular season after the trade, and they haven't really played him in the postseason. So I don't think they're just all of a sudden going to start playing him tonight. But yeah, I think Levert's is kind of a fake Q. I think Herder's is a little bit of a fake Q. And then the fact that Duncan Robinson went through shoot around has me a little bit bullish on him. Do you see it similarly?
Yeah, I'm with you there the whole way. The Pistons like bench situation, I think, is like the biggest decision point for me today, where it's like, do you play Dennis? Do you play Duncan Robinson? Do you play Levert? I'm just kind of mixing in the whole group there.
Okay.
I don't know who's going to be the guy. I'm just trying to get a little bit of each, like this is a 2-game slate. This is really how it goes. Like, yeah, you can like weigh your player takes, but at the end of the day, you're playing volume. You're trying to cover some combos here, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm a little worried about Duncan Robinson's, his run today, because he typically plays big minutes, man, and doesn't even like doesn't give you great efficiency when he plays big minutes. Can he do that coming off this lower back soreness that could flare up? It might limit him, period. I'm definitely going to be really light Duncan, but I'm not going to have 0.
Yeah, respect the take, dude. I would probably be taking B-Ball Paul over both of them with the Q tag in the last round right now, and the ADPs are really close.
Yeah. Okay. I prefer Paul Reed for sure.
Okay, cool. As you guys can see, I'll just pop on over with the rotations here. Sasser got a little bit of run in that one. Javonte Green and Ron Holland did not. This was obviously the game without Duncan Robinson. Dennis Jenkins moves into the starting lineup and plays 40 minutes, puts up some big scores there, has 19 actual. One thing that was noted by multiple sources, the unabated notes, Gallagher's notes, everything that I was reading last night and whatever, is that they started double teaming Cade on ball pretty hard in like the tail end of the fourth quarter and overtime. And that really had an effect on getting the ball out of Cade's hands. So a lot of people speculating that, that worked for them with on-ball 2-man pressure last time out, that we'll see a little bit more of that tonight. And that's probably a good thing for the scoring upside of Tobias or Dennis Jenkins as being like, like the off-ball kind of guy.
Yeah, 100%. That's a really good note there.
Yeah, similarly, if Duncan Robinson does play tonight and does start tonight at the expense of Dennis Jenkins, it could be really good for him for like his shooting ability too, because the ball's getting out of Cade's hands and finding whomever's open kind of deal, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all these ancillary scorers had the opportunity to get some extra scoring here, except Asar. Asar is just never going to score basketball points.
He's there for on-ball defense and steals. That's it. A couple of these fantasy lines from last time out are propped up by some of the auxiliary stats. Like Dennis had some good peripherals. I think he had 4 or 5 stocks there. We talked about this B-Ball Paul stretch here where it's 17 minutes, but it's all the most important minutes of the game that they opted to go with him instead of going with Duran and or Beef Stew. So read into that how you see fit. Everything else was pretty much status quo on the Cavs side there. They continue to use, Dean Wade, where he just does nothing offensively, but he plays on-ball defense on Cade there in the first stretch of the game, and then they end up either closing a little bit smaller or closing with the hot hand. In this iteration, it happened to be Max Strus. Anything noteworthy on the Cavs side there? I never know if it's going to be Harden or Mitchell night. They flip-flopped the last 3 games where it was Mitchell night for 2 of them. Then it was Harden night for 1 of them. I would say that Mitchell has definitely the tougher of the 2 matchups because he's seeing way more of a SAR than Harden is. But yeah, what are your thoughts on anything Cavs related?
Yeah, that's such a toss up, and you have the choice between 2 of 3 Cavs essentially at the 1-2 turn today. So I'm just kind of just cycling them through. I think I do tend to lean more like Harden Mobley with that combo, just because I think Spida is going to be the most commonly paired one with either Harden or Mobley. So I'm just kind of playing a little portfolio, little game theory on that one, because I don't see a huge difference between the two today.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that should be the majority of people's like macro takeaway right now. Is just like, hey man, just pair the opposite one if the whole field's pairing one of them, because the projections are going to be so close. It's really hard to decipher like which role is going to be stronger on a night to night basis, regardless of matchup, right?
Yeah. Like if you have some alpha, like good for you, like play into that. But
sure,
me, I'm just a guy.
I'm just a guy. One thing I will note is if we do think we get some of this Paul Reed, earlier in the game and Beef Stew and or Duran get cut a little bit or whatever, I will say that that's bullish for Evan Mobley and Jared Allen on the other side, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. So that's why I like Mobley a lot there at that turn.
Perfect. Okay, dude. Other ball game there. We kind of hit on it right there, but a little bit higher total, a 218.5 there, 5.5 to the Spurs, which is a little bit lower than it was in those home games because they were pushing some 10.5s and some 11s. Matt, how have you been here all season and you don't know who Beef Stew is?
I know. Isaiah Stewart.
Isaiah Stewart, the other 5 on the Pistons, my guy. But I do realize I do tend to have a million nicknames for a million different people at times. So it's hard to keep up.
We'll let that slide.
All right, dude. Yeah, T-Wolves and Spurs here. T-Wolves, waved the white flag a little early last time out. Not that they shouldn't have, but I'm just implying that, the bench got a little bit more run than we were accustomed to in these games. Basically like a 4 to 5 minute stretch for the bench guys last time out. If you guys remember, coming into the slate, we had the late downgrade Q tag on Dylan Harper, and we also had the Q tag on De'Aaron Fox. Both of them played full. Harper played 25. Fox played 34 in there. We continue to say that even without the garbage time run, that the team that kind of always runs the deepest out of all of these 4 teams tend to be the Spurs. That continued last time out because Harper gets in there, Keldon Johnson gets in there for some good minutes. But if this one plays, pretty tight and plays to spread tonight, we might see 8 on one side and 7 on the other side, something like that. Maybe 8 and 8, something like that. But yeah, we did just get a Terrence Shannon Jr. downgrade with a Q tag, and it's a head contusion. So I didn't see anything last time out. But yeah, he's obviously had a much more limited role since Io came back and since Ant has been back to full. But he still played 17 minutes last time out, but he missed the tail end stretch of that ball game. But I don't recall anything at the tail end. I was watching it, so yeah, I don't know. But
maybe it just happened.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird to get a downgrade like that because, midday downgrades, we talk about them all the time, never good, but this is also the playoffs. And, Dylan Harper had one last slate out, might be comparing apples and oranges, but, Dylan Harper had one last time out and he played through it. So, yeah, anyways, for the majority of that game, though, Nez, they basically only ran 8, and it was Naz Reid off the bench, Mike Conley. Rudy Gobert saw his stuff get cut a little bit here. Just because it's such a bad matchup and Wemby was cooking. I don't know, man. There's a non-zero chance. They were talking about it in the post-game stuff, and I don't usually watch the post-game like talking head stuff of like, Shaq and Chuck and stuff like that, unless it's just for entertainment purposes. But I did think they brought up a decent point about like the stretches with Naz Reid have been considerably better than the stretches with Rudy. Rudy played really well in the first 2 games of this series, but since then, I don't know, man. Drop big versus Wemby and not pulling Wemby out of the paint on the other end has been a tough go. So the small lineups have been doing a little bit more damage in my estimation, and pulling Wemby out of the paint with Naz could be an adjustment this evening.
Yeah, no, I really like that shout. I'm with you. I think Naz Reid, great play. Rudy, I'm trying to get a little less of.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good there. Anybody else that stands out to you as like a big target? Like Io had a really nice game last time out. It was good to see him start and play full alongside Ant. It did kind of cannibalize Ant by Io having such a big game. I haven't looked fully into it, but I grant it that that's something to do with touch time. But yeah, just thoughts on anything auxiliary other than the obvious of like, hey, Wemby's the 1-1 and has been absurd.
No, I don't. There's not a whole lot to glean here, in my opinion. Yeah, like I'm taking a lot of Castle, taking a lot of Vassell. Yeah, I'm Randall. I'm kind of struggling with.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna have too much Julius Randle.
Let me find the Gallagher, because he put it in, like, when I was reading matchups this morning. We just had so many sports to cover. I normally always do my own research, but today I was like, oh man, we got so much shit to cover. I gotta get some help here from the big dogs. Gallagher had a note, and he goes, per all NBA pod, the Wolves are getting just 0.85 points per direct touch from Randall in these playoffs. Second worst in the tracking era amongst guys with 300 plus direct touches. So every time he touches the ball, you're getting some of the least efficient scoring ever when he's the first option.
I mean, that checks out, doesn't it?
The eye test says so. Yeah. Wild, man. Wild. Okay, let's look at ADP real quick, and then we'll rip some drafts here. I got the ADP pulled up. I do think it is kind of like a tier of 1 and 2 today. You know, I know the Cade double team stuff might be coming his way, but just so much funnels through him. Played 48 last time out. I think he's in a tier above, Ant, Mitchell, Harden, and Mobley. But I'll hear you out otherwise.
No.
Okay.
Very simple.
And then Edwards down to Mobley, or Edwards down further than that is the next tier?
Edwards is like his own tier, and then the Cavs guys.
Okay, cool. And then you were kind of talking about the pattern matching and the mixing and matching in there. Is Castle ahead of Fox for you? Is he in a tier of his own?
I have Castle ahead of Fox. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I pretty much have it as ADP. Castle, Tobias, De'Aaron. Asar over Jared Allen.
Asar over Jared Allen. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Io over Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Naz over Randall.
Wow, yeah. So really down on Io, or really down on Randall, a little bit higher on Io.
Naz Reid. I mean, you could put Jaden McDaniels over Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Dylan Harper.
Okay, cool. So you're buying into the recency effect of, like, Randall continues to perform poorly and we don't want that smoke. Gobert could be one of the guys getting cut and we don't really like that smoke with the Wemby matchup, and we think they should probably play a little bit smaller more than they can. And you're really in on, like, hey, the historicals with Duran aren't adding up here in this matchup, and the matchup's bad for him. Let's see if they go in a different direction. So these are kind of your 3 fallers, which are also like the box score watching follows as well. Fallers as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like it's results based, but it's kind of, it feels like something's got to change.
Okay, cool. Not to take a full detour, but before we get into a draft here, Nick is just asking, he's drafting for PGA on Saturday, and he drafted a golfer who already looks like he's not going to make the cut, obviously playing right now. Does he get a swap for that player?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As long as he's not out already.
Yeah. So you go ahead, he'll get marked with the out tag, and you just set your rankings, and you'll get a swap for Saturday's slate there. Okay, cool. Draft and Wemby just went at 3. Holy smokes. Yeah, dude. I guess we could talk about the scroll the F downs as we get into a draft right here.
Yeah. Let's just get into it. We got a million games of baseball and a Frenchie, which I can't see the votes. Don't know how those are going.
Yeah, we'll pull up the votes here in a second. Tony T, you're in. Eggers in here. Love to see it. Man, we had so much stuff at the top there. I forgot to hit on the results of last night.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Not that I won, but
MLB slate, 3-bagger Thursday there. Scoot Jack, Joshua, what's up? Joshua is always in the chat. T-Box is up here. D Campbell, J Bay, Player 001, who had a win recently. Nez, what did you say on the program?
What did I say?
Remind the people. Oh, I remember what you said. Don't you sly dog. He said four White Sox and Sale was going to be in the winner. That's what you said.
I mean, it just gets a little tiring of just, seeing the future and not doing anything about it to turn it into money.
Randall Gritchick only coming in at 24% when he was one of our favorite plays on the slate, and we talked about it there. I'm going to jump back over to the active tab here, and we'll take a look at the WNBA and the puck stuff thereafter. Wemby goes first. Cade goes second. We'll see if Eggers screws things up here in a big way or not.
Evergreen.
%70 on normal is winning right now. Eggers wants an overrule. No, this is a democracy out here, my friend. All right, Nez, you said everybody was going to be doing the Donovan Mitchell plus Mobley situation. We see a higher projection on Mitchell. What do you like?
Yeah, I think I prefer Harden and Mobley, but...
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. I know that's not like the rotation pattern, yada, yada, but I'm just trying to do something different than what the field is doing.
Sure, yeah, you can spin zone it a couple different ways, though. You can spin zone it as like, hey, if they don't get that secondary overlap in like the second unit, that Harden stays on and cooks by himself, like you can spin zone it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Nez, I got a bone to pick. Speaking about Canada, Canadiens, my friend. I told you about Tage, man. I tried to warn you about Tage.
What happened with Tage?
We picked all the best plays, and then Tage had the worst score of the night in our lineup there.
Even lower than Hellnoose?
He scored.
Hellnoose. Oh no, not a Geno for Hellnoose.
Hellnoose scored, baby. I told you he was buzzing the eye test.
Oh man. I mean, dude, DJ came in, supported me on the decision. I felt great about it. Obviously, I wish I could have it back.
The people got to remember that the true puck knower here has always been here from the jump.
I don't think there's been any mistake over who that is.
No, yeah. I'm saying Moots and DJ, they know a little puck, but they know the dork side of puck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're out on Julius Randle, which means you want me to take Io here.
I do.
And then do you want me to take Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, Dylan Harper? Do we want to play the Jalen Duren bounce back game? What do you like?
Let's do McDaniels or Naz Reid.
All right, Naz Reid in capital letters. Let's just get the Naz Reid starts game, or let's get like one quick stint rotation for Gobert, and then we get large side of the platoon for our guy Naz Reid tonight. 35 minutes of Naz Reid, see what happens.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Matt was good. Thought we were escaping the Sabres losing talk. Oh, speaking of which, I just saw Ryan in the chat. I did see this earlier and then missed it because I was rambling about God knows what. Ryan, Memby Run Good dried out, so I got the sword all week. Super Chat Run Good is the new meta. There you go. Love it.
I might need to submit a super chat to the show myself, dude. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this shit. Night in, night out. Unreal.
Oh, it's a long game, my friend. Vassell goes there. Harper goes there. I've already made these 2 picks in my mind, dude. It's Dennis Jenkins and it's B-Ball Paul.
Yeah, send it in. Send it in.
Skip the damn thing. Dennis Jenkins, Dennis Jenkins, we didn't really talk about it, but from the scroll variety, he would probably be the number 1 guy who gets cut into if Duncan Robinson's back and playing full tonight. But yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's full.
Yeah. So Dennis Jenkins, B-Ball Paul go there. Max Strus has been really solid and earned that close last time out. Julian Champagny continues to just be like a really solid like start and give you 30 minutes. And if you just need 25 fantasy points in the last round, he's your guy. Who would be your kind of like favorite scroll down here?
I mean, other than B-Ball Paul?
Yeah.
Levert.
Yeah, I like it. At least we've seen some ceiling from him. We've seen that right tail, 31 minutes, 39 fantasy points there.
Yeah.
The backup 5 game on the Spurs is largely just foul trouble or garbage time. Mike Conley, like even if he's first guy up and gets in there, it's just not that fun. Sam Merrill could, hit a couple shots, but that's all. Yeah, Tyson. I played a lot of Tyson last time out. Not last time because that was the single game, but this 11th slate, and that did not age very well.
Yeah, I really expected him to have a better role, or at least like a good game or two. Getting neither.
Yeah. All right there, man. Harden, Mobley, Io, Naz Reid jumping into the starting lineup, please, or at least the big side of the center minutes there to pull Wemby out of the paint. And then Dennis Jenkins and B-Ball Paul being the beneficiaries of some extra minutes there. Maybe Duncan Robinson doesn't start, or maybe Duncan Robinson's a little bit limited, and maybe they go in the direction of B-Ball Paul like they showed us at the tail end of last game. Concludes the NBA segment. Is there anything else you would like to say and or hype the people on for NBA this evening?
No, I think we said all that really needs to be said on this one. Go Wolves, though. Go Wolves.
Go Wolves, indeed. Yeah, I'd like to see Game 7 in both of these series. But in particular, I would like to see Game 7 in the T-Wolves series.
Yeah, for sure. I'm good on this Cavs Detroit series, even though I think we could use Pistons. So I'd like Pistons, but this is some gross hoops.
Dunce Cap talk radio conversation for 2 seconds here. Is there any team in the Eastern Conference that can win the NBA championship this year?
Oh, the Knicks, baby.
You think so? The Knicks can beat the Spurs or OKC?
Yeah, I do. I do think so.
Okay. I think I'd take Spurs or OKC in 5. And maybe I'd give you 6, like just to be nice.
Yeah, no, I don't think OKC beats the Knicks. Like the Spurs do, I think.
Ooh, spicy. Okay, so you take Spurs over OKC in a series right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, spicy meatballs. Okay, we might have to have a little big dog side wager or something on that one. I'd take OKC. Like, yeah.
Nah, man. OKC's so fraudulent, man.
Side bet, Nez. Tell me the odds.
These guys were healthy last year and could barely beat the fucking Pacers. Like,
yeah. Okay. All right. I see you.
I'm done.
I'm
done with this team.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if J-Dub, we'll talk about J-Dub in the future here, but hopefully J-Dub's working his way back. I haven't seen anything timeline.
They said hopefully he returns.
Okay. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. Eggers is out here trying to accept side bets. I will confirm with the people that Eggers did slide the DMs there, man of his word. We do have the Tet McMillan versus Lad McConkey total half PPR fantasy points for the season. Minimum 8 games played for both players. So we settled on that one yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm on the Lad McConkey side of that. Go Josh McDaniels one time. All right, dude. Therein concludes the NBA. Let's move into MLB. MLB is going to be, quite difficult to talk about here if we go all 12 games and whatever. I think we rank out the pitchers and then just talk about kind of some of the stacks and bats that are standing out to us as we go here. But man, yesterday we had a little bit to worry about when it came to that Boston game. Thankfully, it wasn't on our main slate, but there is basically no weather issues tonight, and everything is hashtag popping right now. We got 88 degrees in Minnesota. We got 80 degrees in Coors Field. So just to break it down for the people, really fun slate in general because it's a big time state rivalry or city rivalry week here. So you have the Battle of Florida, you have the Battle of New York, you have the Battle of LA. You have the Ohio battle here. It's really fun, man. It's like kind of like a rivalries like weekend kind of setup here.
Yeah. They got
Chicago,
the rival. Yeah.
Texas.
The Pirates barely. I mean, Pirates and Phillies, like in interstate, whatever. But it's not even like that much of a rivalry. We're just two cities in the state of Pennsylvania, very far apart.
Yeah, Mariners and San Diego don't really have a rivalry. They're interstate. They share a spring training facility in Arizona, but outside of that, not much hostility there. But it's kind of cool. They set it up. You get the Bay Area, you get LA, you get Arizona and Colorado are decently close, plus same division. You get the battle of Missouri and Kansas. This kind of setup here. Yeah, very cool. Just I hadn't noticed it. I hadn't noticed a concerted effort from the MLB to do so in the past, and now it's just kind of cool that I've seen it.
Yeah, it is nice that they kind of do these things because it's an effort. It's an effort.
Did I say Josh McDaniels instead of Mike McDaniels? That would be a classic thing that I would do. Oh, good shit. All right, dude. Weather just for everyone. Tropicana, just not a great place for hitting, not a great batter's eye, but it's better than Miami. Guardians, a little bit better for right-handed than left, but is not popping. 88 degrees for the Twins with the wind blowing out makes Target Field much more palatable. Citi Field looks bad today comparative to the rest of the slate. 64 degrees, wind blowing in there. Truist Park looks kind of the same as it's been the last couple days there with the 75 and slight breeze in. Wind in at Rate Field, which is just unfortunate because when the wind goes out there and it's 72 degrees, it becomes a hitter's haven. But this one does not look that way today. So maybe we're going for a little bit of pitching there. Battle of Texas is indoors. Evergreen reminder, right-handed bats with the Crawford boxes there. Busch Stadium hasn't been great for hitting the last couple years, but hey, 85 degrees with the wind blowing out. And then you get to the fun stuff on the slate. You get Coors at 81 degrees with the wind blowing out slightly, not as stark as other places, but 8 miles per hour. You get Angel Stadium, which is 65, so a little bit cooler, but a little bit of wind blowing out and is decent for hitting there. You get a nice pitcher's environment in T-Mobile, and then you get Sutter Health Park that is going to be popping with that was my Ricky impression there. 89 degrees and 5 miles per hour out. So just thoughts on the hitting environments today and or pitching environments.
I mean, dude, this is just like a crazy hitting slate. There are so many really good spots for hitting that it's going to be very fun to kind of to spread the exposures around. It's nice to have a rival to Coors Field with Sutter Health here for those guys to go back and forth. Mm-hmm. You get the Dodgers against Kanowitz, who's been very, very good this year. He had one bad outing last time out, but otherwise he's been pretty goddamn good, but nobody believes it, and neither do I. Mm-hmm. Cubs against Sean Burke, not a very good pitcher. This is just there's just a lot of fun spots to look at here and to get different On the field, we talk about it a lot with these large slates. The overstacking tends to perform better on slates like this. So if you're drafting volume or you're drafting a handful of teams, I would personally be drafting more of these onslaughts of teams not found at Coors or Sutter Health, probably.
Yeah, really well said there, dude. Or the contrarian side of those environments that aren't drafted as much, because the ownership discount you're going to get by playing some of these like dusty teams that nobody wants to play tonight. Like if you just play like the Twins and they don't get Buxton in that lineup, and Buxton's the only one with a high ADP and he was a late scratch yesterday. Like if you play them today and you go, hey man, it's a little bit better at Target Field than it usually is. It's 88 degrees. Like, you know what I mean? And you just say that that's the game that you get 11 runs from the Minnesota side there, and you come in with everybody at like 5% owned. Like you're not holding hands with anybody. If you try and make the perfect Arizona team, if you try and make the perfect Athletics team, it's like, well, your guess is as good as mine. We could tell you that like, hey, the handedness splits of like Aaron Savale or whatever would favor some of the left-handed bats today. But I think most people are going to know that. Well, the other side of that game is actually a little bit reverse splitsy. So you could also play some of the righties. Everybody's going to want Nick Kurtz first overall or second overall or whatever. But I actually low-key kind of prefer Shea Bangeliers today. But like that, you know, so maybe there's some micro edges like that kind of thing. But, you know, Shea Bangeliers scores 17 fantasy points. You're not separating from anyone, and he's 100% owned. So like on a 12 gamer with all these other different paths and such concentrated chalk at the top, you know, finding that contrarian angle or being the guy who, instead of doing a 5-man from Coors, does a 2-1-1-1-1-1 that none of the regs are building kind of deal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm always like if I can help it and actually sit down and coordinate these drafts the way I'd like to, that's, you know, all the things that I'm thinking about.
Cool. All right, dude, let's break down the pitchers for everyone and then talk about a couple of the stacks and some of the isolated pick to clicks for us, and then rip a draft or two.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So on the pitching front, dude, really interesting to see Blake Snell as SP1 on this slate. That was the first thing that stood out to me. Like, nobody's ever going to question Blake Snell's ability as a pitcher because he is very effing talented, but he has walk problems and he's a perennial slow starter to seasons. He's always been a late guy who's always performed better towards the tail end of the season. And this is only his second start. The Dodgers are always treating guys with kit gloves, especially at the start. He had a walk issue his first time out. Could Blake Snell go out there and go strike out 10 Angels today because he has that kind of stuff? Absolutely. But man, I kind of look at this and I go, Angels, a little bit of double bubble here with all those power righties in the lineup. This might not be the greatest spot in the world. I prefer Cam Schlittler today. What are your thoughts?
I think Snell has like 10K range of outcomes here. And it's not even like 75 percentile. Lefties against the Angels can just absolutely like dice them up if you're the right type of lefty. And that Blake Snell is that type. Yeah, big time double bubble leverage for sure on him. Like nobody's really looking at the Angels today. But I think Blake Snell has really strong K upside. Quality start upside, not so much. Definitely like less than 50% chance I'd give him to get that quality start just because of how the pitch count. But K, right, the K stuff and the win equity I think is really high with Blake Snell. So for that reason, I have no problem with the ADP.
Okay, cool. All right, so a little bit different for Nez and I off the top with the rankings here. I will say that we'll look at Cardi's stuff in a minute and see whom he agrees with there. But yeah, okay, cool. Perfect off the top there. Definitely big ceilings for both these guys in terms of strikeout rate. Do you like Cam Schlittler more than the tier below?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So there's a clear tier of 2 here at the top. I have it this way. Nez has it that way. And then we can start talking about the next grouping here. It's Spencer Strider, who is kind of getting treated by name value sake that he is in this tier and then everybody else kind of deal. Do you agree with that? Or do you think there should be a more distinct line here?
No, I don't think that like Strider is like the clear cut SP3.
Okay.
Good play today. Like definitely one of the better pitchers on the slate, but I don't think he's like that good of a play.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, great outing against the Dodgers, and the Red Sox have been putrid. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm a little. I'm gonna have Spencer Strider, man. Don't get me wrong, but like, yeah, I go back and forth on it. I have trust issues with Spencer Strider. You know?
Yeah, no, yeah, I can't blame you with that. We know what the right tail outcomes look like. The big strikeout rates. The strikeout rates last year were down comparative to the historical stuff. So was the fastball velo. Very nice start against the Dodgers. He gets a rude awakening on a Sunday start at Coors for his first start of the season there. So he comes in and his first two starts are at Coors on a Sunday day start and then at Dodgers. So not a very clean start to a season, but he made good in that Dodgers matchup. I think he deserves to be in this tier, but I think Tanner Bybee and him are, much closer than the ADP currently indicates right now.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Okay, cool. And then thereafter, Nez, who intrigues you, man? Because there are a lot of available pitchers today, and there's a lot of scrollability on this slate. My number one thing thus far would be like, I would have 0% Merrill Kelly today at Coors because you just don't have to. There's 12 other games on the slate, and he's been bad, and he's been bad on the road, especially there. So like, there's no reason to go there, in my opinion, even if it works out and even if the Rockies strike out a bunch. Like, there's just no reason to go there. Waka has been like smoke and mirrors, and I know he's been good for like the most recent starts here, and he's professional ass right-handed pitcher. But like, man, I think I'm just scrolling past this tier. You could talk me into Spencer Arrighetti. I would like it more if it was at Globe Life. But man, I think I might just kind of scroll past this tier and be the guy who goes quote unquote dumpster diving, because it's not going to project as decently as drastically as the ownership disparity is.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely skipping that whole tier, but that'll change close to lock. These pitcher ADPs shifts pretty dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see a flippening here. Like Hancock will rise for sure. I think who else down here?
I'm kind of in on Clay Holmes, dude.
Clay Holmes is totally fine today. Like I don't like it, but I don't like the Yankees today. I'll say that much.
Yeah, like you don't want to necessarily go against the Yankees when you don't have to, kind of deal. Like you don't really have to attack the Yankees, on a 12-game slate, but like they strike out a shitload, but their ISO is also super high and their hard hits super high. So it's like it's binary outcome, kind of like playing against the Angels, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like a good starting point here with these 7 as kind of like our favorite. Is there anybody else that I'm missing from this list? Do you like, Edward Cabrera could strike out a bunch of White Sox today. Colson Montgomery will be back in that lineup today, one of the power lefties. But like, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit better pitching conditions for Edward Cabrera than it is for Joe Ryan today. Do you like either of those two?
No, I'm good on both those guys. I think Leiter is the one guy I would throw in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, just, watered down iteration of Houston with all the guys on the IL right now. Basically, if Jordan doesn't take them deep, who's going to hurt him kind of vibe?
Yeah. A lot of Ks in that lineup right now. And Leiter's been pretty nasty with the Ks this year.
Okay, cool. Respect that. I don't think there's any reason to go to Dustin May, but basically nobody in that KC lineup's hitting outside of Bobby Witt. So if you wanted to chase some strikeouts there, would that interest you?
I'm good on that.
Okay. No Sean Burke for you. You said before, Andrew Abbott in Cleveland.
I'm not really into that.
Okay. Conley Early, one of their best pitching prospects in the Boston organization, but gets that Atlanta lineup.
Yeah, Atlanta just is scary, but Early's a good pitcher.
Yeah. I don't think it's crazy. I think there's definitely some strikeout upside with Conley early. Maybe it's just a bridge too far. You don't have to get there where it risks sinking your lineup, but I don't mind it. You've been a Randy Vasquez respector. Thoughts?
Yeah, totally fine here. In a good place to pitch. Throwing from the right side, which for whatever it's worth there. I've been a Vasquez guy, and I think it's just like fine. It's not my favorite, but like for the fact that he's like doesn't even have an ADP, it's totally fine.
Yeah, Mariners have been scorching hot, but they returned to a shittier hitting environment now, and they lost Cal Raleigh out of the middle out lineup, which is a power lefty bat, despite being despite scuffling this season thus far. It still weakens the lineup.
Yeah, it's not like you want them out.
Yeah. Anybody else that you would want to hit on here? Tyler Mahle, he's got a problem with right-handed power, and Aaron Savali has a problem with left-handed power. So those are kind of where I want to attack, and I don't want to play pitching. Never Kyler Freeland in Coors, but he shocks the world once in a while, but no reason to play it. Anyone else?
No. I mean, there's just no need to when we talked about everybody else.
Okay, cool. So if you're going to weight your prioritization of pitcher today, are you prioritizing bats and stacks at the top? Or are you prioritizing, these top 3-4 arms instead?
I think I'd prioritize the arms, but
okay.
Yeah, that's just all right. I'll mix it up a little bit, but yeah, I think prioritizing those three is smart.
Okay, is there anything you would change in our rankings on the screen here? Snell, Schlittler, Strider, kind of Snell and Schlittler as a tier, Strider and Bybee as a tier, and then the scrolls are kind of Arrighetti down. Would you change up the rankings at all?
No, I think I would just take back what I said about Strider and just throw him in that tier, though.
Okay. Yeah. And then no Waka, no Kelly, no Cabrera, no Ryan.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. I'm good with Cabrera today. I did take a Ryan share earlier, and then once I checked the weather and stuff like that, I was like, maybe I'm not as bullish as I thought I was, kind of deal. But I would have liked it a lot more. I don't know. Only a 4.5, implied total on the Brewers side of things there. And we know that yard can play big, but I think I'd rather play Clay Holmes, to be honest.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to have any Edward Cabrera. He has ceiling, right? He has big time K upside.
Yep.
And there's a lot of strikeouts in this White Sox lineup, but
he could also see 7 lefties.
Yeah, and that's been his issue.
I'm trying to think Murakami, Montgomery, Benintendi, Peters, Kelnick, Romo. That's 6 I can name off the top of my head. Vargas is the only righty I can name that's for sure going to be in there.
Yeah, they're going to throw a shit ton of lefties at him.
Okay, cool. Therein lies our Bro Science rankings of the pitchers. The Cardi model has it Snell, Bybee, Schlittler, Strider, Leiter, Hancock, Arrighetti, Ryan, Early, Cabrera, Holmes. So we differ slightly from Cardi, but that's kind of always the case, to be honest, when you're ranking stuff out here. But more or less thinking about it in the similar vein there. Nez, let's take a look at the sim totals and just kind of pick a couple of the stacks to talk about here. Basically everything on the slate is from this Reds game up. You guys can see the Coors game is in the 6s in the sim totals. Those are much higher than the implied totals on some of the hashtag books right now. Dodgers with a 6.34 is considerably higher than what you're seeing on the hashtag books. The Sutter Health game with these 5s, low for the Mariners game, which is to be expected. Cubs popping decently, Brewers and Twins popping. Mets really low. What stands out to you here? Yeah.
I mean, just like the bullishness on the Dodgers. I'm just like, where is this? I get it. It's the Dodgers. They're in the Angel Stadium. That's just that's really standing out to me, big time. Just a lot of runs on the board, man. A lot of runs on the board. A lot of different places to deviate. Ballpark Pal's always like bullish on like every single game, but like, it is kind of a nice overview of things. But man, no love for the Mets. So maybe a little Schlittler 101 just to mix in a few times, because that Mets lineup is awful.
Mets are ass right now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like where your head's at there. Any stacks that like really stand out to you other than the chalk of the night is obviously, Diamondbacks, Dodgers to a lesser extent, Giants and Athletics are like big time chalk. Rockies are a little bit pushed up because Coors, but they're still, affordable in terms of ADP. And then almost everything else it would be considered contrarian, except for a couple bats on the Braves, a couple bats on the Cubs, Bobby Witt, and maybe Buxton if he's in. But Buxton, you might get an ownership discount with the Q tag right now, and Aaron Judge, obviously. So outside of like that as the chalk, what stands out to you as kind of like your favorite scroll spot or contrarian leverage spot?
I think the White Sox.
Yeah?
Yeah, White
Get
Sox.
some of those lefties?
Yeah. I'm just White Sox slappy, so I'd have to be playing them today.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I respect that take. I can't steer my eyes away from the double bubble leverage of some of those power righties against Blake Snell. I'm a Blake Snell respector, but if it goes wrong, it goes wrong in a big way. Like him and Dylan Cease, like Spider-Man meme pointing at each other. And I just, I've seen the walk issue rear its head for him. I've seen him get hit hard early in the season before, he finally figures it out. And this is only his second start of the season. I'm kind of in on that. But yeah, just looking at some of the hard hit percentage stuff here, Merrill Kelly getting hit the hardest on the slate. Then Kyle Freeland. So like, that's why Coors is popping so huge. But then Edwin Cabrera thereafter, Randy Vasquez, and Joe Ryan. So that would bring, Brewers, White Sox, and Mariners into our lives a little bit, which is just kind of interesting. Let's jump back to the site here. And anyone that just stands out to you ADP wise as, picks to click, guys you want to be overweight on, etc.
Ohtani.
Yeah.
Like just crazy. ADP 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Who would you take him over in the top tier?
I'd probably put him 3.
Okay. Behind Judge and Carroll?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I noted that a little bit reverse splitsy there in the Giants matchup there. Savali not being reverse splitsy. He's been getting hit hard by lefties, and he's going to face a buttload of them today, probably at least 5 of them in that Giants lineup. But Tyler Mahle, man, has been struggling with right-handed power. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Shea Bangoliers, I mean, way to go out on a limb, John. But like ADP 15, like Shea Bangs looks like a guy I'd be, in this upper tier with. Cattell versus a lefty, always. Carroll and Coors is fine, etc.
Yeah, I'm definitely in on Bangs and Moniak there in that same like little like 15 range.
Cool. Any lean on Byron Buxton playing baseball tonight? He was a late scratch yesterday.
Yeah, what was the reasoning? Hip issue. Hip flexor soreness. Yeah, I have no lean there. But Chad Patrick has not been very good. So
so it doesn't really matter for getting to pitching side.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Just wait and see there, because that's a tough team to stack without Buxton.
Yeah, very much so. JJ Bleday has been scorching hot, and it's decent for left-handed pop there, but I think it's probably a bad ADP and just a recency bias thing. But we love JJ Bleday.
He's like on another planet right now. It's insane.
Yeah. One of the best back end scrolls right there. Devers stands out to me as one of the best ADPs on the board today.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Trying to look at some other stuff here. Yeah, there's so many good hitters that are just like buried today. I think it's fine to play Olsen and Baldwin lefty, but I probably wouldn't be stacking that lineup a whole lot today. I'm a respecter of Conley Early.
Yeah, same here.
Luke Nuke Rayleigh. He's been getting after it right now.
Yeah.
Back-to-back games with a home run, and Randy Vasquez has been getting hit decently hard by lefties.
Yeah, I don't love the park, so I'm not gonna get there. But shout out to Nuke Rayleigh.
All right, cool. Yeah, Colson Montgomery's ADP stands out to me. So does Ryan Waldschmidt. I'm going back to this bridge here. Like, he might be at the bottom of the lineup again here, but you need some outfield help with Arizona. He's just kind of taken over those duties after they released Alek Thomas. He's a good prospect, man. And now you get Coors, and he's buried.
Yeah, good call. He'll be playing. He'll be. Yeah. I like that. I like that call. 35-3. Seems to be the name of the game with Coors is take the low owned pieces of that of those games, and you tend to have some good success. So yeah, shout out Waldschmidt. Yeah,
Waldschmidt, Vargas, and trying to think. I mean, Arenado versus lefty is okay, but he's kind of priced up. Lourdes Gurriel, once upon a time, was a lefty killer.
Yeah.
Once upon a time. So Lourdes Gurriel, you get two outfielders there, and then you get like Jose Fernandez or Vargas added in, and you play the other side of the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Elliot Ramos and Jung Ho with an inside the park home run last night. TM's on Angels as well a little bit. I like that. Dat Mavis just saying that the reason Ohtani's so low is the projection on the site. Okay. So yeah. All right, dude. Anybody else you want to do in terms of ranking stacks or sharing of stack ideas?
No. I think we did a good job of covering it. Let's get a draft in so we can do some football before I got to dip.
Right. Cool. Let's do it. Yeah. Reminder to everybody that there's a 24-hour stream, which is just bonkers, going on after this with the FanSpeak group. Maybe some of it's even going on right now. I think they started at noon, but I didn't know what time zone it was. And Nez is going to be hopping on at 4 to 5, whatever time zone.
In like 45 minutes.
45 minutes. There you go.
I'll put a link in the chat there. That's crazy, man. That's nuts.
Yeah. 24-hour stream after the schedule release. I'll share a couple links to some cool schedule stuff I was looking at this morning, for the people in a second here when we start the segment. Any Guardians for you today? They've been, I don't know.
It's tough against a lefty.
Yeah. David Fry's music, baby.
Yeah, it is might be a Burger and Friday. I don't know.
Might be a Burger and Friday. Burger and Friday on a Friday? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, a must.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I do really like this. Maybe I'm just a dunce cap and old school like this and stuff, but like, obviously I want to watch, the game sixes tonight. Obviously, that's where my vested interest lies is, we got some playoff hoops tonight, but there's no puck this evening. So like I'd normally be tapping in on that. And then, I'd be watching the PGA over the weekend a little bit here. But like the things that I'm really interested in this weekend are, MLB drawing me back in with these rivalry series. Like I kind of love this, like these city rivalries. Like, and I might just be a simpleton, but like, come on.
It's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Hopefully we get some fireworks in these games.
Ohtani, Schlittler, or Snell?
Let's do Schlittler.
All right. That is my SP1 on the slate. Cardi and you disagree with me.
I'm just attack the Angels with good left-handed pitching. Donk. That's just a principle.
Yeah, I've seen this movie 1,000 times with Blake Snell, and I look up at the end of the night, and he goes 5 innings with 6 Ks with 4 walks and 2 earned.
Can I just read these numbers off to you?
Yeah, please.
All right. 11 it's 12, 34, 22, 30, 30, 30, 34, 21, 38.
Okay.
That is the K rate of the projected lineup of every player for the Angels today.
Wow.
That's not good.
Okay, say it again.
12.
Okay.
34.
Yeah.
22. 30, 30, 30, 34, 21, 38 against left-handed pitching.
Wow. Okay. That's bad.
And
what's the ISO look like? Do you have the ISO in front of you?
Yeah. 121, 168, 331, 143, 152, 257, 0.023, 0.143, 0.119.
Wow, that's crazy. Can you send me that link in the private chat?
Yeah.
I want to look some more at that after.
Yeah, it's just from Plate IQ.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so it's just like, man, the floor is just so good.
The floor is in fact the ceiling.
That I use Plate IQ for a lot of that matchup stuff.
Here, I'll show it in a second. I took Shea Bangs while you were speaking because I love Shea Bangs. We also talked about, White Sox being a little bit underpriced. We also talked about, I loved the Devers price tag. You want to take Devers?
Yeah, let's go Devers here. We'll get a little correlation in this game being a bomb fest.
Yeah, I like that. What do you think about Shea Bangs, Devers, and then 3 Angels, buddy?
What the hell? Why not? Let's win the whole damn thing.
Let's win the whole damn thing. Okay, let's oh shit. I got 70,000 things saved as image 1. Just trying to save the image. Hey. All right. For those playing along at home, this is what Nez was looking at on the Plate IQ stuff on Fangraphs. On Roto Grinders. There's the K percentage. There's the fantasy points projection. And there's the ISO stuff. Wow, Oswald Peraza versus lefties. I know he got a couple guys early this season, and that's boosting that a little bit. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, my only complaint with this dashboard is that the light green means you're better than the dark green. Like I feel
which is odd.
Yeah, I need to write a letter to the Europeans that own Roto Grinders now.
Okay, Nez, I will afford you the opportunity. Do you want to go White Sox 3-man or Angels 3-man?
Angels.
All right, Angels.
It'll be easier.
We'll start with Michael Nelson.
Yeah, it's paywalled, Yosh. It's not cheap, but I use it like every day.
Mm-hmm. If you had to pick out the picks to click here, Joe Adell, Soler Power, Neto, Peraza. What do you like?
I think I would go Adell.
Okay. Adell probably hits right behind Trout. Neto, I don't know. He's been buried a little bit. They've kind of been leaning into that Grisham leadoff stuff, but yeah. Take Joseph Adell, whose name is not actually Joseph, it's Jordan. But it's just funnier.
It's the only time that you're going to hear that. Man, what do we do? What do we do with Neto, dude? What do we do with Neto?
I think we just take them, close our eyes, hope the Pokemon cards make them good again.
They're ripping packs too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was what they both homered the day after they ripped some packs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Take a look at what everybody's doing in here. Holding the Rock is going with a 4-man Colorado stack there with Tucker and Carroll. So you like to see, or 3-man rather. Rumfield looks like a good pick to click today for sure. Willie Castro now has infield eligibility. Hunter Goodman would be my favorite pick to click in that game on the Colorado side, other than Moniak. We take advantage of the Devers price tag. We get Shea Bangs in here. Car Park looks like he does a mini Reds stack, a mini Houston stack, and then a one-off Ketel Marte. And who do you want to go with, Neto, Soler, or Praza?
Neto.
All right, Neto. It is homered the other day, and we get this 3-man Contrarian Angels stack, which I'm a little bit more in on than Nez was. Nez is a big-time Blake Snell respector today. I'm a little more scared, and that's why we took Cam Schlittler ahead of him. Shea Bangs, pick to click. Rafi Devers, pick to click. I'm just going to take one peek in the lobbies here and see what the Rafi Devers home run is at. 149, and this guy is ADP 30 whatever today. So probably my most mispriced player on the board. Anything else to say to conclude the MLB segment here, Nez?
No, just that Giants probably are the winning stack today.
Let me just tap in on the vote here. We have 52 votes, Nez. I have to cast one to then see. 70% want the normal Frenchie Friday, so that's what the people are going to get. We are going to go fire up Frenchie Friday here.
Everybody wants to do the vanilla stuff, whatever.
The missionary of drafts.
That's exactly.
One more spot in here. We got the solver fired up for this one. If you guys have not checked out the solver before, use promo code BADGE at
give me 1 second, John. Sorry. There's someone at my door.
Okie dokie. Couple things I'll share with you guys to start this off. Wow, snap fill. There we go. We got Josh Roberts in here. We got Dat Mavis in here. We got Eggers in here. Love to see it. Yeah, couple things to share off the start. Obviously, schedule release was yesterday. This schedule grid is my personal favorite. It just seems like the cleanest, most compact, etc. I will share the link for that in the chat in half a second. Let me just find it again real quick. For whatever reason, I wound up closing that one. And then we'll talk about the structure of Frenchie Friday as well. Take a look here. This guy, Jack. Here we go, Jack. So herein lies the schedule. So if you guys want to save that, I always save it to mobile. So when I'm drafting on my phone or I'm slow drafting on my phone, that I always just kind of have it there. So I heart it in my like favorited images or whatever. So that's in the chat right there. We're pick 8, so we're not up yet. Shout out to Kyle. Kyle Borg here on the X machine. He did some totals and some implied totals stuff. I'll just share his Twitter with everybody here, but works alongside the fantasy footballers and did some really cool stuff. I really like this one in particular here, guys. Let me make the pick, and then we will talk a little bit more about that. It looks like we are going to get Christian McCaffrey at 8, or we can have the decision about the wide receivers here. I like Christian McCaffrey at 8 when I can get Christian McCaffrey at 8. I'm a simple man. Jumping back to Kyle's stuff real quick here. I found this really interesting. I tweeted it out earlier. Man, the Arizona Cardinals are double-digit dogs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of their first 13 games. Insane. So he just ripped all the stats lines or the sportsbook lines right now from the DK Sportsbook. But I think it's a good visualization. And then the other image was the compact version of that. So you can see, who's favorited, who's underdogs, that sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff is subject to change. But yeah, cool. 8 love checkdowns a game. There you go. Jacoby Brissett just checking it down over and over again. There you go. We're going to be up in 3 picks here. So I'll jump back for a second, and then we could talk about some of the other ones. But shared that in the chat there. The other one's from Arif Hassan, but he is part of the, I think he's like Vikings beat writer for like a long time, or affiliated with the Vikings stuff for a long time there. Writes about football. He's got like a blog that's like wide left, it's called. But he made a chart as well that I wanted to share with you guys because I thought this one was really interesting as well. The kind of intricacies of the schedule within the schedule. Amari Hampton goes there. You see all the green runoff on the right-hand side of the board there. Ken Walker comes back to us. Drake London's popping a little bit here. Chase Brown. Who do you like, Nez?
Let's do Chase Brown.
All right, cool. Sounds good by me. We got the bye weeks in on the app as well there. You guys can see bye week 8 for Christian McCaffrey, bye week 6. And the reason I bring up bye weeks for a second is the tweet I was referring to that I will share in the chat with everybody right there. Rest differential over the course of the season. I thought this was really interesting just based on some travel schedules and who has to play Thursday nights, who has to play some of these weird Wednesday night games, who has to play whatever. So, yeah, I mean, just compile some of these resources and take a look at everything there. But Chicago and Buffalo and Dallas kind of coming out on the good side of rest days, and the Chargers, man, kind of lapping the field in terms of a bad rest schedule and really condensed, patterns of rest between games. So just wanted to share that with everyone and share his tweet in the chat.
Yeah, interesting. I'll have to take a closer look at that and see if I decide to care or not. But
yeah, right. It's that classic time of the year that it's like, okay, I can either overweight or underweight all this stuff and figure it out as we go. Yeah. And as you guys can see, we're using the Solver Draft Assistant as always here. You guys can see the capital buckets, all that fun stuff. They'll get the matchup stuff in there in due time. Let me just make sure I don't have it toggled off right now. No, I got the playoff matchup widget in there. It just hasn't been uploaded yet, or maybe I have to update to see it, but that'll be all in there in no time. So we'll be able to use that. And I will drop that in the chat for everybody. Promo code BADGE at sign up for 20% off on that bad boy.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it indeed. Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to share with everybody was the format to this. Very cool format to the Frenchie 3. 4 out of 12 advance, but there's no payout for advancing out of the first round of the 4 out of 12. You have to win your head-to-head to then get your payout money. And then there's a second head-to-head and then a 468-person final. So I don't know how you optimize for the head-to-heads, but so we'll probably be playing for season long for the 4 out of 12 and then for the 468-person final, which is a pretty big final for only a 5,600 entry tournament here. 2 max entry. Yeah, just a really fun structure that kind of combines elements of Eliminator with, our standard best ball format.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, Nezzy, we could go with Kyron Williams, Devonta Smith, Josh Allen. Who do you like?
I like T. Higgins or Josh Allen.
Oh, gross. Let's take T. Higgins then. Get some correlation.
T. Higgins is good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I would have taken Devonta over him. I would have taken Kyron over him. And then he probably would have been my pick. And I can't get on board. I know Josh Allen might rise in the future, but I can't get on board right now with Josh Allen being 2 rounds better or 3 rounds better than Lamar, Jaden Daniels, etc. I just can't pay that price relative to market right now.
Yeah, I think the cool thing with Josh Allen is that like you just like know you're not getting a bad pick. Like Lamar has failed us time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it matters most. Jaden Daniels, it's now his third year. What's the cast going to be like around him? Is he going to run as much now that he's been so banged up? Like what's his situation going to be like? The situation for Josh Allen is considerably better than it was last year, adding DJ Moore to the receiving core, drafting Skylar Bell. I'm very in on Josh Allen, and just like, yeah, I'll take the free like good pick. He might not win you anything, but he's definitely not hurting you, I don't think, too much, and kind of allows you to kind of breathe at quarterback and not have to play the 3 QB game. Who do you like here? Since I made the last
Jalen Waddle.
Oh, fun. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I see issues with Ibuka. My Luther Burden Windhursts is they announced their everyone had the schedule release videos yesterday, and they used Rome to do the Bob Ross painting video. They didn't use Luther Burden, did they?
No, I think Luther Burden's probably a bad pick.
I was just being facetious about the schedule that they went with Rome in the video instead of Luther Burden.
Yeah, that was. Well, you know why they use Rome?
Why is that?
Because he has the hair.
Yeah, he's got the fro. I mean, I'm good with JMO there. We like David Montgomery. Cam Scatabo was obviously a draft winner, but shares a little bit of bye week overlap. I don't know. Jalen Waddle gives us a nice quarterback out that I like as well. I would have been good with Terry McLaurin there. I would have been good with Devontae Adams there. I think if you wanted to do like the Josh Allen and then stack, DJ Moore, that would make a lot of sense. This whole area is like really fluid, and we're probably way too stagnant when it comes to ADP.
Yeah, I think so too. Do we ever figure out exactly how Bo Nix broke his foot, ankle, whatever the hell he did?
I don't know, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah, like the tail end of the playoff game there, and it was just like, oh yeah, by the way, it's broken. Like the next week, it was never like
Dude, night.
Yeah, and I never went back and like looked at like the play and being like, that's where it happened.
There were rumors that he did it in the locker room.
Interesting.
Celebrating.
Interesting.
So we don't really know anything about the injury or like, at all, the surgery or anything. I'm assuming he's going to be fine for the season, but there's a lot of like QB injuries that I'm real that like I get a little scared of. Bo Nix is one of them. Bo Nix is one. He was good last year, but I am worried about the injury a little bit. I don't know. That's probably dumb, but
no, it's probably a good point that not enough people are talking about right now. What up, Chris G rolls through. Seems very bye week sensitive. I imagine that's in relation to the rest schedule. That checks out. Same with the head to head. Like how I guess you don't want to mega stack teams. Westy's saying, because then you're asking for too much to go right in a head to head on an isolated week. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know
not how for this contest.
Yeah, I don't know how we'd overread into like those head to heads.
Yeah, eliminator, yes. This, like, no.
Judkins comes back to us. Price is here for us. We talked about Christian Watson the other day. Who do you like?
I like Christian Watson.
All right, sure. Sounds good to me. We got a nice base with the running back capital on CMC and Chase Brown there. Yeah. I think we can push Burrow around the corner and then have the Burrow conversation at 65.
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot right now about the current meta. And like how to play it from a contrarian angle. And based on this start, I think it would be like really pushing our running back 3, like really pushing it. And not even, and basically like not trying to flex that player until, something develops for them later in the season, hopefully.
Yep.
And also thinking about like 0 RB in 2026 and how to do it successfully, how to do it right. Yeah, I'm really. There's just this happens every year, man. We overcorrect, and it's never it never goes well.
Right.
So I'm really kind of focused on how to take advantage of this right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I flirt with two notions there. I flirt with, the overcorrection angle, obviously, which is just like so imminent. But then I also flirt with like the tweets that Hope put out the other day, where it's like 90% of users are drafting without rankings, and 90% of users are drafting, on mobile, and like all these kind of like little things. And I'm like, well, maybe it's fine to just follow the cabal if the cabal is like ahead of things, because
Maybe.
it's like, we're just watching the streams of everybody doing the same thing. Burrow's here. Egger says he'll withdraw from the stream if we take him. So I would say, why not? I could also do Chuba here or Jaden. Who do you like?
Joe Burrow's the best pick on the board.
Okay.
Suck it from the back, Eggers. Like, what do you want us to do? Like,
he is unsubbing if we take Burrow. I don't know. In a vacuum, do you like Burrow more? Like, I think he's good for this roster when we have, Chase and T. Higgins and it lines up with ADP. Like, it all just makes sense. Like, that's how we didn't have to stack, but like, that's how this lineup go Burr as it moves together. But like, in a vacuum, are you Daniels over Burrow?
I mean, my head says yes, my heart says no. Like, I'm really, really, really bullish Bengals this year. Really bullish. Like, having Joe Burrow healthy for the full year, because that didn't happen last year. We would probably be taking him like way sooner.
Mm-hmm.
He has one of the best offensive situations in the world. It's a shame his defense gets better this year with Sexy Dexy being there. Yeah, I just this team seems really, really primed to put up big time numbers this year
and concentrated, which is fun.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Chris saying we killed two birds with one stone with that pick. I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, it feels like it should be a good thing, but it kind of sounds like he's suggesting like we just killed each other or something.
No, he's talking about Eggers.
Oh, there we go. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, dude. Have you looked at the Week 17 stuff at all yet?
Yeah.
We get that Baltimore at Cincinnati matchup for 17. Like, if both teams are fully healthy for that game, that could be fun.
Yeah, Legendary Upside has a mnemonic device that they sent out. I don't know if it was to their subs or if it was public facing, but it was pretty helpful. There was some good little little things in there to kind of help. Steelers and Titans, though, my own personal device to remember that is just the Arthur Smith Survivor Bowl.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good one. What did they use for that? That seems too easy.
They said the Pitt versus Nashville 911.
What?
Two TV shows.
Oh, I don't know either of them.
Yeah, I'm going Arthur Smith.
Arthur Smith
victims.
Yeah, I like that. Arthur Smith victims is perfect. Nez, we're gonna have some options here to set up some double stackage if we take Sutton and or Reed or RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey does look a little tear breaky to me, but we might be able to get Rico on the way back. Metcalf is here. Do you like Metcalf? Solver likes Metcalf.
Metcalf or Sutton.
All right, let's do Metcalf then and not put like all our eggs in that Denver basket just yet.
Okay. Yeah, I really want to commit to like the wide receivers.
How so? What do you mean?
Like where we were.
Oh, sure.
Just just keep pounding. Even though Harvey does make a lot of sense as an upside pick with like, a lot of variance with the coverage of the two running backs that we have, and you could potentially just like absolutely crush, those three picks if it goes right for Harvey, but a little bit of the safer pick with Metcalf, obviously.
Yeah. Two articles that were floating around our industry yesterday. I retweeted both of them, but they were getting high praise from, everybody basically and people smarter than me kind of thing. But I will share this with everyone in the chat there that one was Ryan Heath's article and one was Jacob Sanderson's article. And they were both kind of like I would bring it up because they were talking about some of the wide receivers who are on our team right now. Waddle was mentioned, Metcalf was mentioned, just because of some of the schematic changes and some of the personnel-based changes and the utilization of like 12 and 13 personnel with the tight ends in the future. So I thought it was really interesting. I'll drop the links in the chat in a half second for everybody there. But it was kind of like painting a bear case for Metcalf in a little bit of respects there schematically. But I
think it's like it sits in one hand, half a dozen in the other.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
We seem like the Godwin guys, like every damn draft here, Nez. Bo Nix might come back to us if we push it. I would kind of throw my hat in the Rico camp here.
Okay, let's take Rico.
Like, I think it's a good time to hit the like tail end of this tier when you spend, the high capital on the front end. They don't have overlapping buys. You get the correlation with Metcalf. We don't necessarily have to pair a quarterback with it.
We'll be happy that we did that.
I agree with you. Yeah. Could we have gone like super like anchory here? Sure, but yeah.
Those articles definitely good. Like two sides of the same coin there in terms of like how yards per route run manifests itself,
right.
Which. Great articles there, but like also just to give credit where it's due, shout out to like Hayden Winks for saying that like 4 years ago that people doing yards per route run analysis are not taking into account formations. But the Metcalf thing, they're not playing the Arthur Smith bullshit, but also like the offense will be better, more efficient, and they're probably going to drop back more. So I think that kind of cancels out the effect of like he's not dominating targets this year. It didn't really matter last year, like the numbers weren't immensely better than his career numbers being in that target hog, quote unquote, situation. So I'm not really too worried about him specifically, but the other players I thought were like really, really strong bull cases for that they made some really interesting cases for.
Like it. Yeah. Well said. And shout out to Hayden. That's a good callback because he was talking about that 3 years ago. You're dead ass about that.
Yeah, like he was on that like immediately. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that actually that makes a lot of sense. But
speaking of which, we should have Hayden on hopefully next week or something like that. One, for selfish purposes, to ask him why he big leagued me in when he was in Vancouver here, and two, to just get all the football knowledge. And it's always fun as hell to have Hayden on the program.
Yeah, it's always a good show. We get Hayden on here, but we gotta ask. We gotta ask about.
No, they were only here for like limited days, and there was also a jumper on the Granville Street Bridge where they were staying in that vicinity, and traffic was probably the worst I'd ever seen it in Vancouver on literally that one day that we would have had an opportunity to meet up.
Damn.
Yeah. No Buxton in the lineup. Okay, good shouts there. So unfortunate, just in general. If you are just rolling through here like Awin, waking up here, let's make this pick first. Bo Nix comes back to us too easy.
Yeah, let's do it, and then we can ignore the position.
All right, cool. Sounds good to me. That might piss off our guy T Foreman at the tail end there, who went ahead and did that Sutton plus Harvey thing. But, it would have been quite the ADP fall for him to come all the way back to him.
Yeah, I mean, what do you expect, man? That's ours.
I love the Dan Flash's remarks every time the schedule grid comes out here. What's up with this? Plate IQ used to be free years ago. Used it religiously. Not sure now. Yeah,
it did.
It did. Yeah, I used to use it all the time back then too. And now I don't. I mean, I pay for Cardi stuff. Is Plate IQ included in that?
It can be. I know my sub is at least.
Maybe I fucked up then.
Do people really think Trevor Lawrence cut his hair?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch that one, but I did see the side by side pic of it.
I mean, like, I lose a lot of like faith in people whenever like people are like, dude, Look at the hair, he cut it. Like, come on, man.
Nez, we're gonna have some decisions to make. J.K. Dobbins would stack for us. Worthy or Casey Concepcion. He went already. This is kind of like a nice little pocket for running back, or we could. Yeah, what do you like?
Worthy or Bill?
Let's take Bill.
Okay.
You like Bill more than Aaron Jones and Kenneth Gainwell? You think Kenneth Gainwell last year was like a little bit of a flash in the pan? And
I don't know about Kenny Gainwell. I took him a few times in Superflex in my slows because I realized that I wasn't taking him.
Yeah.
It's just a three-headed monster in that backfield. Bucky Irving's there. Tucker's there. Like I think that is a little difficult to parse.
Mm-hmm.
But he was good.
Mm-hmm.
And if Bucky is hurt, I think Gainwell is the RB1 in that backfield, and Tucker, takes the goal line stuff. And he got, $7 million a year, I think, for 2 years, not chump change.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. I it's not a high confidence pick in my opinion. I don't know.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think he could easily fill in the Rachaad White role of last year, and he's a little bit more expensive than Rachaad White historically has been.
Yeah, he is. Rachaad White's normally like pick 150.
Yeah,
in that offense, which is a great pick for me.
Right.
And then Aaron Jones. God, man, I mean, I don't know. I didn't watch enough Aaron Jones last year, but
mm-hmm.
I just have a sneaky suspicion that he might be cooked.
Yeah. Kyler needs a bowling ball at the goal line with him. Like, that's why James Conner was so good with Kyler, because like Kyler was really good for like the scramble based runs, or like they do so much of that play action bootleg stuff in and around the goal line with Kyler. Like, can't you just see it in your mind of him just like scampering out to the corner and he walks in all by himself? Like, that's probably Jordan Mason's music. That's probably I don't think of Aaron Jones in that vein anymore.
Yeah, I think the Mason Jones flippening makes sense this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not even a huge Jordan Mason guy.
I was really going to get excited about taking Mark Andrews as a bring back for the week 17 stuff here. I thought he would make it back. He does not. I would throw my hat in the ring for Khalil Shakir or Jalen Coker.
Let's do Shakir.
Yeah, we've done Coker the last couple times. Let's do Shakir, get a different bye week mixed in there. Although Coker's was, I don't know, this team kind of looks like it needs like a little bit of floor points at the wide receiver position. Like, we got some big banger bust spike guys, but like T's not the number one on his own team. So like, how, rostering T has been for years, that like, hey, if he doesn't get that 5 catches and a touchdown on the nights that, Jamar Chase goes burr, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're staring at like 6 points in your lineup. You need a little bit of these floor guys to help move things along. Christian Watson can be bang bust. Jalen Waddle, we don't know what the role is 100% going to look like, even though I like him in a vacuum. We just add a little bit of floor scoring there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just like on an island, but I really think that T. Higgins is just going to smash.
For sure, he could. He's amazing.
Yeah, I'm just very, very into T. Higgins.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he's going to have weeks that aren't like usable scores.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Makes sense. Like, we started off 2 running backs. I think we should definitely not ignore the fact that we need some wide receiver capital. Agreed.
Yeah. Okay, let me hit on one thing in a second. Oh, Diggs getting pushed up here. 136 is the new price tag for Diggs. I was leaning into just being like, this is our tight end window. Do you have a favorite of these 4?
I think Goddard, but if you want to, like, I don't take Likely, but if you want to think, if you think Likely is going to have a good season without Andrews in front of him.
No, I'm good with Goddard. Let's go with it. Solver liked Goddard there. Also liked Dalton Kincaid. Coker would have been fine. This is you could definitely see, though, that this portion of the draft really dries up at wide receiver. This like round 10 through 13 is where like all the quarterbacks go, all the tight ends go, all that the RB 3-4 tier goes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like us taking Shakir was kind of like, okay, that's the end of a tier. And now Diggs is getting pushed up in this group. McMillions is getting pushed up in this group for, you know, stacking and or CLV purposes.
Yeah, Shakir is just like a totally fine pick, right? Just like little oatmeal.
Mm-hmm. There's a little cough medicine for the fellas. Eggers claims he's cooking evergreen, but we'll take a peek in a second here. A couple things I just wanted to hit on there because oops, I'm late. If you were late to the program there's a bunch of helpful links in the chat. Scroll up. There's like 5 schedule-based ones. There's strength of schedule. There's rest ones. There's the Solver Draft Assist that we're using right now. Promo code BADGE with 20% off there. And then 2 really hard-fought, hard-worked-through articles, let's call it that, from Ryan Heath and Jacob Sanderson there. So if you guys are hanging out here, surely you've seen at least a portion of all this stuff, but scroll back in the chat and check it out. I don't need help. Oh, good, clean fun. All right, so we're probably pretty comfortable with a 2 QB room here with Burrow and Nix.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you look at any of like the overlapping like bye week stuff, like combo wise, Nez?
No, just not really.
Sure.
No.
Okay.
Just been looking at my slow drafts and seeing how bad I've screwed myself in certain situations.
Yeah, and you see some overlap or whatever.
Yeah, I started off a draft with I think Derrick Henry and Genty in an eliminator, 2 week 13 buys. So I guess I'm just kind of playing for the min cash there.
So Genty and who is week 13? Sorry,
Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah, okay. And they're going to be paired a decent amount on that right side of the board there with the double RB meta.
Maybe not anymore, but
yeah, not anymore. Yeah. Your boy Sadiq is here. Hunter Henry is here. We could scroll past it. Take Tyler Algier.
I think I'd go Sadiq.
All right. Sadiq, different buy than Goddard, so we can go ahead and take that. Might still be a 3 tight end team here.
I think so.
Yeah. You guys can see the capital bucket there. It looks like we're pretty strong at running back, pretty strong at quarterback, and probably need some wide receiver and tight end help to fill this roster out. Probably a 2-5-8-3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right.
Give me 1 quick second. Sorry, I had to see somebody at the door. I need to take a restroom break before I hop on with the Fanspeak people in 5 minutes.
All right. Copper Prices, what's good? Haven't seen Copper Prices hanging out in the chat in a minute. Football season is back, so is Copper Prices. What's good, my friend? What is good? Also, I haven't heard from Luke yet. Luke, have you showed up yet? If you showed up, I owe you $50 to the Badge Bros store, courtesy of the Peter Overzed store there. If you watch this after the fact or whatever, just drop a comment or hit me up in Discord, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up wherever you can find me. I'll also hit you up the next time I see you in the chat. We could end our tight end room with Chig. They like Jalen Naylor a bit here. Antonio Williams is kind of fine with the same thesis. Dude, I want to take Brian Robinson. Let's end this RB room right now. Brian Robinson. Doesn't that look solid? CMC, Chase, Rico, Bill, a.k.a. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, and then Brian Robinson. That's a strong RB room.
Yeah, it's a nice way to put a bow on that.
Yeah. I mean, Chig had a little bit of correlation there with the Bill bet. So did Antonio Williams. We could have done that. Antonio Williams' price has really risen. Old enough to remember when he was a 20th round pick. I'm very excited that I'm stacking Houston Green Bay for week 17. I am not.
Yeah, that's we'll see. We'll see how they how this Texans defense fares this season. Obviously they look good, and they probably will be very good, but
they might be historically good. I don't want to scare people, but I think the Texans defense might be historically good.
Really?
Yeah. At least that game is outside in Lambeau in the cold in week 17. People are going to start poo-pooing that game. People are going to be really excited about the New Orleans Atlanta game. You know, Vegas Cards is kind of meh. Baltimore Cincinnati is pretty good on paper. Miami Buffalo feels like just like a shit kicking for Buffalo, but that could be kind of fun. Carolina Seattle, probably put that in the meh tier.
Yeah, I guess so.
Might have some potential. Detroit and Chicago week 17, but outdoor at Soldier Field.
Yeah, I don't like that that's outdoors, but
yeah. But they played a barn burner outdoor late last year too, didn't they? Or was it the playoff game?
I think
shit, we're on the clock. Game. Maximum focus, Nez. Jerry Judy.
No.
Ayuk.
No.
Jeremy Bernard.
Jeremy Trey Harris.
Let's take Trey.
Okay.
We already got the Metcalf plus Rico bet. I don't want to add on another Pitt bet, you know?
Yeah. I don't want to mess with Judy or Ayuk right now.
Yeah, that's totally fair. All right, we'll make this next pick and then we'll go back to Bro Science schedule mapping.
Yeah, I got to jump off after this next pick.
Sure. You do you.
They need me to carry the mantle, to pass the baton.
There you go. So you're hopping on solo.
Huh? No. I'm not doing solo. I'm just hopping on with them. But
I see.
Yeah, Herzig is jumping off right now, I think.
Gotcha. Maximum focus. Nez walks away. Evergreen.
Dude, my fucking dog just doesn't know if he's coming or going.
Speaking of which, where the hell is Mr. Good Boy? Kind of chilly day out here, man. I'm looking at all these nice weather in the baseball front there. And I'm looking outside that this is the first day I might be hoodie in a while.
Jealous. I won't be in a hoodie for another 6 months. So
jeez.
Rip. Unless I make the house nice and cool.
All right, here we go. I'm thinking of a player, Nez. I'm thinking of a player. And I really like this player just in general. And he's a good UW boy, too. And he has a little bit of correlation. And the guy beside us shouldn't take him because he's already got 3 of that position. But it also is your last pick. I like Cade Otton here.
Yeah, take Cade Otton.
Okay. Do you like Cade Otton more than Njoku?
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't think we need any other team need right now?
I mean, we're going to take more wide receivers, but I think Otton's the last tight end that I feel good about here.
Okay, cool. And I think that's good coverage for the Sadiq stuff. You know, Dallas Goedert will be, maybe give us 4 spike weeks or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, land this plane. It's very important that you land this Frenchie. Yeah. All right. Good luck tonight, everybody. Talk to you guys soon.
Peace out. Hey, Nezzy, actually, before you leave, any no strip plans for the weekend or we're good?
Yeah, let's do one tonight. It's been a minute. So let's get back in these streets and
let me twist that kid's rubber arm. He's already got an IPA and the Benjamin set up. He is ready for a Nezzy after dark.
No more Penny Snell. No more Penny Snell.
Penny Snell is out. All right, you guys can catch Nez on the 24-hour stream hereafter. And apparently for our members only as well, a little no strip Nez coming your way this evening. So be glued to your Discord and or your Twitter notifications there. Your boy's playing a little bit of golf this afternoon, so I will not be joining. All right, landing this plane. I think it's 2 wide receivers. I think we have done quite well at filling the draft capital bucket of both the quarterback and the running back position. The tight end stuff is never going to look good when you start your tight end room at 135, but I don't know. You get kind of a Flory play in Dallas Goedert. You get Kenyon Sadiq for some ceiling output potential, and then we add on Cade Otton. So some usable weeks all in there. Then we get some stacked up correlated plays here with Joe Burrow and Bo Nix. Bo Nix stacked up with Jalen Waddle, and T. Higgins and Chase Brown stacked up with Joe Burrow. So I think we're going to have 2 wide receivers to close it all off here. We could take like a ceiling shot on someone like Tyreek Hill finding a job. We could do Dontavian Wicks alongside Dallas Goedert, get a little correlated bet there. Nothing really Baltimore on the bring back for week 17. What do we got? Who is nothing really New England on the bring back of the Bo Nix stack. So I think we can kind of just choose our own adventure here. You guys could see the ETR ranking, and the solver is really bullish on Cooper Kupp at 156 here. So that gives us a little bit of, it's kind of boring, but what's Cooper Kupp going to give us? 600 yards and 5 touchdowns this year? I mean, maybe that's bullish. He had 590 and 2 touchdowns last year, but he had a better playoff run than that. Let's trust the solver here. The solver likes Cooper Kupp. I'm a homer a little bit there. We'll take Cooper Kupp, and then we're going to land this plane with a last round wide receiver. I don't know, man. Is there anyone on the Bengals that we should be still considering? Like, I'm old enough to remember that like Yosha Voss was fun. I'm old enough to remember Jermaine Burton before he wore his pajamas to work. We got excited about Mitch Tinsley last year in the preseason, and then he wound up scoring 2 touchdowns. He had more touchdowns than Cooper Kupp last year. Probably nothing we want there. Keyshawn Boutte, if he doesn't get traded, he's a bring back on the week 17 stuff. People like Branch, but there's rumors about Diggs going there. Pat Bryant for the stack. Can he get it? No! Come on. You're better than that. 20-second clocks becoming the norm, and getting used to 30-second clocks in the daily is my downfall. That's my downfall as a human being right there. Many, many downfalls as a human being, but that was bad, guys. I needed that Pat Bryant in there. I don't know what Pat Bryant's injury timeline is. Obviously got banged up in the playoffs there. But wow. Boutte was his skeleton key. All right. 3 birds, 1 stone officially. We sniped Eggers too. Bless. 3 birds, 1 stone on Eggers there with the Keyshawn Boutte. I mean, it still works. It's a bring back on the week 17 stuff as long as he's not part of the supposed AJ Brown trade that everybody has already said is happening and is going to the Patriots. But yeah, Pat Bryant still gets drafted at 215. Greg Dulcich with the last one there. We're going to do 2 things right now. We are going to dial up the draft report here from the Frenchie 3. I'm going to download the draft report. We are going to take a look at the team, and then we are going to sauce the fuck out of Eggers' team. That is what we're going to do. Actually, I'm not sure if we're going to do that yet because it might be good. He said it was good. He said he was cooking. So let's take a peek here. This is the solver draft report at the tail end there. As you guys can see, like we're not really caring about like closing line value, draft capital value, and ADP value just yet. These numbers will shift in the future. We're trying to play exploitatively, especially in these time box contests at the start of the year here, because we know the answers to the test is what we're telling ourselves in these rooms, and that CLV will follow if we are correct right now. So caring about ADP right now when ADP is least efficient is not what I'm aiming to do. So I don't really care about these ADP values right now. But we end up with a pretty balanced build here. It still says we're a little bit light in the wide receiver bucket. We are also a little white in the wide receiver bucket there with that Cooper Kupp selection. But yeah, we got ourselves a 2-5-8-3 that started as a 2-3-4. So 2 quarterbacks in our first 9 picks, which is not something I'd normally advocate for, but it kind of made sense on this roster, and Bo Nix fell back to us. Also allows us to just stop at 2. So what we lose in early capital, we make up later. We went with a nice Cincinnati bet early there with Burrow, Brown, and Higgins. Nez a little bit more bullish on T. Higgins than I was. We start with Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. All right, let's read it out. Burrow and Nix at the quarterback position. CMC, Chase Brown, Rico Dowd, Bill, Krosky Merritt, and B-Rob on the running back front. Very strong running back room there. And then we go T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, Christian Watson, DK Metcalf, Khalil Shakir, Trey Harris, Cooper Kupp, and Keyshawn Boutte. And then we go with, at the tight end room, Goddard, Sadiq, and Otten, which is just like, you know, kind of floory, kind of solid, but you get a little bit of ceiling in the Sadiq camp there. Honestly, on the sucks or fucks, I think this is like a Friday night. We stayed in. We had a nice couple like steak and wine dinner, and then it's a make love. You know, this isn't your Pornhub fucking. This is a nice little, caressing of the back of the neck and some soft pecks of kissing on the cheek right here. This is probably 7 out of 10. It's very cromulent. We get some correlation. I think what would have tied a bow on it all is if Mark Andrews came back to us. Mark Andrews, I don't think he was necessarily the skeleton key, but this Mark Andrews at 125 instead of Khalil Shakir, and you flip Mark Andrews here, so you get the Mark Andrews tight end, which I think is better than Dallas Goedert and gets the week 17 correlation, and then we get like Diggs, Coker, or even Shakir on the way back there at 137. And I think I would have liked it a little bit more. Yes, with the poetry, not Pornhub. Yes, what am I hearing right now? Nate Noon with his, is this your first sucks or fucks of the year? Get ready for it. And speaking of sucks, Egger's telling us 0 RB sucks. So he goes for the 2-7-7-2, which was the OG structure for the for a 0 RB build here. He goes with Drake May and Patrick Mahomes. He goes with Travion Henderson, Pollard, Monongai, Chris Rodriguez, Jordan Mason, Jonah Coleman, and Katron Allen, who could win some goal line work there. And then goes Chase, Rice, Igbuka, and then, wow, really stopped at wide receiver and then banged out the last 4 picks with Antonio Williams, Calvin Ridley, Ted Hurst, and Branch. And then he goes with an anchor, Trey McBride, and then adds on Isaiah Likely. Yeah, man. I don't know. Running back room is like fine, like with like an asterisk. Quarterback room is obviously like good. But yeah, unstacked Drake May, just stacked with Hendo. Yeah, it's tough to land the plane. It is tough to land the plane out here on some of these 0 RB builds right now. I like our team considerably more. Yeah. Hence the Boutte. Yeah. Okay. I see you. Yeah. Okay. This is more. What do we got? This is more of a just the tip, an edging type team. There you go. Respect it. It sucks or fucks, just not to this level of detail. All right, guys. Fun show there. We banged out a Frenchie Friday, pun intended. We got ourselves a nice breakdown of the 12-game baseball. If you missed that, roll the tape back and enjoy the 2 elimination game 6s in the NBA this evening, and Allez Montreal this weekend, Saturday night. Allez Montreal. I know some of you guys are Buffalo Sabres fans, but I'll be eyes firmly entrenched on that one. Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody who rolled through. Appreciate everybody who dropped off a couple subs and a couple super chats at the door there. And big shout out to Luke. If you tap in, Luke Bogg, you are the big winner of the $50 gift card. Go back in the chat there and check out some of those links, guys. Some really important content for the football space in general there. Also could check it out on my timeline as well. Go check out Nez on the other channel, on the Fanspeak channel, and watch some of that 24-hour stream. And then Nez will be back for a No Strip Nez this evening. If you are a member of our channel, go sign up at the Solver there. Go sign up at Unabated and consider becoming a member for the lowly price of $5 a month there. All right, everybody's favorite time of the show, the end. Peace. Much love. Good luck this weekend.